Hey guys, Michael here, back for another YouTube video. So today, we're talking about a very controversial topic in today's society. Or, I mean, in general, but we're talking about weed, cannabis, the devil's lettuce. I had a brain fart. So, with my experience with weed, I've learned weed is not bad. It may not be good for you, like health-wise, but as, like, in general, like, compared to alcohol, I'd say it's better than alcohol. But on the other hand, I wouldn't say it's good for you either. It all really depends on what situation you're in, your environment, and where you are mentally. It may be physically too. See, the reason I smoked weed, and I didn't really notice it or know that's why I was doing it, but it was because I was depressed and I was using it as an escape from reality. Because weed affects me differently than it affects a lot of people. Because I have an addictive personality and like a very fucked up past. So I tend to use it to get away from everything just because I have really shitty coping mechanisms. When I first started, it was just for fun, I remember my first time smoking. It was fun. Me and my buddies. I didn't know how to use a bong, so I'm sitting there. I also had a cast on, so if you ever smoked weed out of a bong before, it's kind of, you need both hands. So my buddy, he lit it for me. I was like feeling it. I was like, thanks, man, thanks. Like, just being high and shit. But I had a great time. It was really like, I don't regret it. It was a good experience my first time. I felt like I was in a sitcom. Like, we were just laughing at everything, as usual. If you do smoke weed, though, I would recommend, especially your first time, don't look at the time. Because you will feel like time has no meaning and it's not moving. And you're, like, stuck in what time you are forever. At least for me. But yeah, I didn't start out as an addiction. It started out as just something I did for fun, recreationally. Like, every few months, like, I'd just get together with my friends. We'd get high, and, it was fun. Just like, I do with drinking. I just, take the edge off a little bit every now and then, I'm not saying it's bad to do it like that. Personally, I don't smoke weed anymore because I've proved to myself that I can't discipline myself to limit myself. Like, I used to smoke only for sleep. I would get like a little pill container and I'd put like half a gram to a gram, and that's what I was allowed to smoke that day. And typically I'd smoke it right before I go to bed, just get myself tired. And it's one of the only things that really gets me to sleep nowadays. Sleeping without weed's like damn near impossible for me. But yeah, I did good for a little bit like that, but I eventually just, I guess there's things that was bothering me and I didn't really know it just because I was just so used to holding things in. So that turned into me just not caring anymore, and I'd take weed out of like the next day, in the container. So I ended up smoking like 2 grams that day, and then that ended up leading to me smoking in like ounces per week. And I blew a lot of money. A lot, and that is one of my regrets. Like, it was a life experience for me. I don't regret smoking all that weed because I've learned a lot about myself through some of that. On the other hand, there is kind of like a black hole in my life where I don't fucking remember anything, which is one of the downsides of weed. Memory just shit. It's like time has no meaning whatsoever. You just wake up and it is what it is. Like, there was days I'd wake up, I don't even know where the fuck I was at. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, okay. I was just sleeping the other side of the bed, you know. But, yeah. It got to the point to where it was so bad, like, I just didn't give a fuck about anything but weed. I isolated myself, didn't really talk to, like, my friends at all. If it was just to talk about weed or to get weed. Because, you know, at the end of the day, pothead Michael only cares about weed and himself. Which is a reason I've tried to get away from it for so long. Because I don't want to be that guy that just cares about himself. My one thing in this world I hate is selfish people. But, I got to the point where I thought it would be a good idea. I don't know what was going through my head. I was already stoned from the get-go, so that might be why my thinking was kind of impaired. But I had work in a few hours, and I guess I was way higher than I thought I was. So, you know, I had like an hour drive to work. I'm like, okay, well, I can smoke this bowl, and I should be sober by the time I get home or to work. And that was one of the dumbest ideas I've ever had in my life. Because I carpool, you know, with some coworkers, and as soon as I got in that car, I realized I fucked up, like, hardcore. As soon as I sat down, I was like, dude, I shouldn't have done this. And I went to sleep, you know, the whole way there. I was hoping I could just sleep it off, but when we got there, I got out of the car, I'm like, oh, God, I'm still stoned. Like, I was coming down, but I was apparently a lot higher than I thought I was. They ended up finding out I was stoned. And yeah, I got fired. And like that whole car ride back home, I was trying not to like break down. I'm just like, fuck, I ruined my whole damn life just now. Lost my job. I was like, fuck, man, and that turned into more depression. But it was something I needed. It was an eye-opener for me that I was going down the wrong path in life. I started realizing I wasn't making all the good choices. And then looking back beforehand to where I was, I used to be this guy that I'd wake up. I was very driven and motivated. Like, I enjoyed life. I mean, I was still smoking weed, but it wasn't like every day. It was like every few weeks to months, maybe. I'd wake up, I'd meditate. I was eating healthy. I'd actually wake up early so I can work out before I went to high school. I'd read a lot. Like, I had a lot of very productive habits. Like, my sole focus in life was growing myself and becoming the best person I could be. And then I ended up just smoking weed. I don't really know what happened. I got my first car, and I was like, something came to my head. I was like, I can get my own drugs now. It's like, you know, me being young and dumb and broke. I was like, wow, I can buy drugs my own. I don't have to go all the way like 40 minutes to go get it from my friends. I can find my own dealers now. Again, don't really regret that because I've learned from it. But I wish I didn't do it. I blew a lot of money in pot. And that's when it went downhill. It was like I just smoked. And I thought I was so cool because I was like, oh, wow, look at me. I get high all day long. Like, everyone wishes they can be me. And like, in reality, like, No, I had a fucking problem. Yeah, that's why I try to tell my friends and stuff. Like, sorry, that was nasty. It's like one of my buddies, he's talking about smoking a little more. I'm like, man, I just be careful, man. Like, if you think you have an addictive personality, I'd personally stay away from it because it can destroy you if you let it. And that's what I did. I let weed consume me just because I was just very unhappy with my life. Again, I'm not saying weed's bad. It's just, for me, I don't think it's good for me right now, at least at this point in my life. One thing I have to say to you, though, if you do smoke, is like, if you've been through some like very traumatic things in your life, things you haven't coped with, or if you're like really depressed currently, now is not the time to be smoking, man, or drinking and anything like that. Like, you need to be sober. Don't avoid that pain you're feeling right now. You have to let yourself feel that to cope with it, man. Because there's a lot of things that I'd hold in and just forget about. Like, it still hurt me and I didn't know it did just because it's been so long I forgot about it. But that's one of those things, like weed. I wouldn't allow myself to feel certain things, and I guess it's like another unhealthy coping mechanism I have. I didn't really realize I was doing it. I was just thought I enjoyed being high, but now I know it's because I just was avoiding all my issues. So yeah, that's my one piece of advice to you. If you've been through things and you just haven't coped with them yet, I'd avoid it. That's something I've learned from my personal experience. Now I have learned some things about myself from pot. Like, there's been times in my life where it has been good for me. Like, an example, I was on the phone with my buddy Gage one night. Shout out to Gage, by the way. You're a real homie. I was just thinking, and something I'd do, like a really bad habit I had, since I held things in so much, like, people would just irritate me so much, just like little things they do, and I'd hold that in instead of saying something about it. And what happened is I'd let that build up, and that just turned into anger and resentment. And like, in my mind, I genuinely believed that my friends were the problem, but it was me, because like, I wouldn't express something if it bothered me. I just build it up and quit talking to them. And that's something I realized when I was high. I was talking to them on the phone, and that just came out, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, I'm the problem. It's not them. So there have been a few eye-openers with weed for me. It's just one of those things. It's not good or bad. It's what you make of it. It will consume you if you let it. And just all about how you use it. But that's really all I have to say about the topic. Some of y'all probably aren't gonna like this, and I don't care. I used to be just like you, thought weed was like the best thing ever. But anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. You've learned from my mistakes, because that's what the wise do. Wise people learn from other people's mistakes. They don't. Like, I can be wise. That's a problem I have. I'm really hard-headed. Like, sometimes I can learn from people's mistakes, but then a lot of time people keep telling me things I just refuse to listen, just because how hard-headed I am. I'm like, oh, that's just because they're dumb, And I learned the hard way. I'm like, they were right. But anyways, I hope y'all liked the video. I'm also doing a giveaway when I hit 100 subscribers. A $25 giveaway. I know it's not much, but literally all you have to do is subscribe to me and share my channel, like on anybody, Facebook, and send proof to that to me on here or Snapchat, just whatever. I'll leave a link down in the description. But as usual, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. And hit the notification bell so you'll get updated when I post new content. I hope y'all have a blessed day. See ya.